missed most visiting during lockdown is a garden that I designed in Scotland for a charity called Horatio's Garden. The purpose of the charity is to put gardens in the spinal units of hospitals all over Britain. Basically, these are the places where you go if you have an accident and you end up paralysed. And you spend quite a long time in these hospitals, 6 months, 9 months, a year, just rehabilitating. And before we started, this was a rather depressing building with nothing much to recommend itself, and there was a concrete yard and various things like that. And the idea was to put in something that would allow people to get away from this sort of feeling of hospitals, not just the patients, but also their families and their visitors and the doctors and the nurses and the staff at the hospital as well. Something just to make it feel a little less painful and a little bit more normal was the idea. So we put in 2 gardens. We put in a courtyard garden where people can go and have tea and sit with their friends and their visitors. And we put in this sort of woodland garden, which is alive with birds and butterflies and bees and plants and all sorts of things. And the extraordinary thing about it is that it has made an enormous difference to people's lives. And I usually go to this garden maybe 4 times a year, and I haven't been able to go this year at all, and I miss it. I miss it very much because it is a very emotional garden. It is one that affects almost everybody who goes there. Every time I go, I can see the patients enjoying what we've made, and it makes a huge difference to their lives, and it is a really, really important garden to me, and I miss it.
Among the many rustic villas that had arisen between Rome and Tivoli since the Republican age, there was already one built in the Silan period and large at the time of Julius Caesar. This was the first nucleus of the villa, located in Tivoli, near Rome, later incorporated into the imperial palace, whose construction work began in 118 after Christ by the will of the Emperor Hadrian. I remember that once, when young, I was lost in the park of the imposing Hadrian villa, and more precisely in the secret room of the Roman Emperor Hadrian, in the islet inside the Maritime Theatre. Hadrian said in his memoirs, but above all, in the heart of that retreat, I had built a more concealed asylum, a marble island in the center of a pond, surrounded by columns, a secret room that a swinging bridge so light that I could with only one hand move into its lane to join the shore or rather segregate from it. At the time of the siesta I went there to sleep, to think, to read.
Here in the UK we've been in lockdown for a couple of months now, which is incredibly difficult for a lot of people, not being able to get out of the house and enjoy everyday life as they would normally. Now I'm pretty fortunate in that I've been able to spend this time in the family farm, just south of London. Beautiful countryside, open spaces. Here we're relatively isolated from the more restrictive aspects of lockdown, and I've had a chance to rediscover my green fingers, which has been a wonderful pleasure for me. But I do miss being in central London, particularly their parks. One particularly nice memory I have of the parks in London is from just a couple of years ago. I was walking through Kensington Palace Gardens, which is a beautifully manicured and well-maintained park right in the heart of London. And I was walking through and I saw a crowd of reporters and people all standing around. And with great interest I walked up and I said, "Oh, what's happening?" And they said, "Oh, William and Kate are about to come out and announce the name of their child." I look to where the reporter is pointing to and I see the palace. It's right there, just a few metres away. And it made me realise how lucky we are here to have all of these beautiful open parks that were created through royal patronages throughout the centuries, open to the public for everyone to enjoy. And that's something that I hope we regain soon.
Hello there, this is Barbara Boskiroli from Atelier delle Verdure in Italy. What I missed most during the lockdown was the possibility to walk around freely in the countryside. Here in Italy it was forbidden even that. I spent the lockdown in my hometown, Crema, in the middle of the Pianura Padana plain. So I missed getting lost in the countryside, walk around with no aim, or cycling with friends. Walk around in the countryside for me means being just with myself and my thoughts. It means being surrounded by the crop fields and trees. It means you can hear your own steps or your own breath or the sound of the water running through tiny little channels. I missed the open view towards the horizon, and instead, this is where I spent the lockdown.
Amici del Moscow Flower Show, vi registro questo messaggio da uno dei luoghi che cercavo di raggiungere il più possibile durante la quarantena. È lungo la strada che abitualmente faccio da casa per recarmi in ufficio e mi piace perché è in mezzo alla campagna. Nei momenti più in qualche modo brutti della quarantena, il mio sogno più realizzabile, più vicino, era quello di arrivare qui in mezzo a questa campagna, alle porte di Milano, per sentire l'aria fresca, per non avere il sentimento di questa minaccia addosso. Ecco, la cosa veramente poco simpatica è stata immaginare, il vedere la propria città come una minaccia, come un luogo pericoloso. Questo è stato uno degli aspetti più brutti, ma qui in mezzo alla campagna era tutto molto più piacevole e quindi siamo contenti tutti noi che amiamo la natura quando riusciamo a avere spazio, avere orizzonti. Qui veramente basta uscire di pochissimo da Milano. Questo era il sogno per i correnti, entrare nella campagna, stare in mezzo alla natura. Durante la quarantena era così.